Good morning, everyone. As you can see, we have today a little bit of a stormy night behind us, and right now the ocean is still a little bit uneasy, and it is strange how much the weather conditions here in Thailand are immediately changing the color palette that we are having. I must fix first this. Direct in the morning, the storm was really a little bit stronger, and the first light was changing everything in such strange colors of blue and green and gray, and it was so rough in a way. And then the first sunlight came just before I start filming it. Now that the sun is a little bit gone, and then the color palette changed immediately from these strange colors of green and gray and blue into something that is popping out yellow, and then everything was floated in an orange tone. It was such an incredible study that you could make with just watching the colors change, and I'm always so thankful that the nature is such an outstanding teacher when it comes down to earth, and especially when the things are changing and they are even becoming rough or uneasy. There is immediately a reaction how nature appears to us, and I think very often that the change is one of the most incredible teachers for art in every dimension. Like this, normally we have here in Thailand wonderful sunlight and everything is so blissful, and with time your eyes are becoming so used to it that you are often not seeing the beauty anymore. And then this change is coming and everything is different, and then the nature unveils in an extreme different aspect to you, and it is so incredible when you have the privilege of having time and just spending watching the nature change, and you can observe it and learn from it, and it is bringing so much value to your artistic development. It is so incredible, even if you have to wake up really early in the morning. Today was not a problem so much to wake up in the morning because the storm was going on, and to just witness the change and being ready not to stay in your bungalow but to go out there and experience things is really making the difference, because you have actually first-hand experience and you can live it through how the things actually are changing in a way. It is not only an imagination of wonderful tropic islands, it is the experience also of the different state that things can change here, and it's giving you a broader scale or a broader expression possibility later on in your own paintings or drawings, and it is really making the difference. Sometimes when I'm in Europe, I'm studying the paintings in the Louvre or in the National Gallery, and especially I love the ones that are about the tropical areas or picturing the ocean and how the ocean is changing. And I love this academic studies, and it is also a kind of experience to experience these tropic regions through the eyes of a different artist. But nevertheless, to be able to come here, to go out in such an incredible world and to experience it is giving you a whole different dimension. Not only the feeling of freedom and how big this globe is on which we are living. It is giving you through the immediately through the experience you can immediately can make in the moment. You are right now in the moment, you are experiencing it. It is giving you a feeling of fulfillment, and that you are generating something that later on be enough in your own art to express yourself much better. And in this is a great opportunity, I think, to be able to make the step, to make the decision to go out and experience the things on your own. And I know there are many things right now that are holding back people. Right now many things are changing. The time when I was doing this live stream, it is especially for my friends in London a little bit difficult even to see a future at all, and to stay alive from one day to the next, because everything is so crazy. And to think in such times about taking the risk of going out there and experiencing things on your own for the sake of your art is strange for them. I know this time, I have also been in this time, and you have the feeling you are in a cage that you build yourself out of the worries, of the fears, and of the fears that are delivered to us every day through the media. And to being able to break out of it, to say to yourself, actually it is worth for me to take the step, to step out and to overcome everything that is holding me back for the sake of my art. Because you can be as good as you like in your own studio. Your art will really gain a different dimension, a whole new level, when you are able to go out there, make the experiences on your own, to live a life, and then transform these experiences in your art. That this gives you art value, this gives you art a substance, and the people that are actually later on watching your art, and they are your audience, they are getting this sense of this experience, that a real life is behind this. And in this, it is an outstanding opportunity that really every artist should grasp, to take the step, to begin this journey, to take on the risk, because the gain is for the art is always so much bigger, and there are always some things that are holding us back, and we should acknowledge them. And many great outstanding artists that we can see in the Louvre and in the other museums, they had also their own how to put this in words, their own tiding that was holding the ship in the harbor. There was always, most of the artists struggle with their finances, or with the fragile psychic that they have, or the family behind it, or the social conditions. There are many reasons that an artist is held back, and when you look at the famous artists, there's always something that would be reason enough not to start the journey, not to leave this safe harbor behind and try it out, to go out into the rough sea and discover what is out there, what could contribute to the development of the art. And every artist found a way to overcome this, to cut themselves loose, to steer out with their ship out of the safe harbor from this calmness, but nevertheless from this cage they are in, and go out there and do their best. And some stories of the famous artists are even a little bit scary, or they are tragic, but nevertheless, when you compare to it, the life before they started their journey and the life after this journey, with all the experiences that they have made, it has always been a win for their art. And the great thing is, even if you are not a big name in the art, even if you are in the beginning of your journey or just leaving the plateau you're on to get to the next level of art, even then you have the same possibility like the famous artists to really take on the journey, to risk it. And the great thing is, back then it was this journey, this artistic journey was something that was very personal. The artists had to make decision on the base what was just happening to them, and they had to take the big leap. And the best thing about today is that we have actually the possibility to reconsider everything, not to just steer out of the harbor and just let it come as it is, but we can make preparations. And this is an outstanding opportunity. And because before you are making this big leap, before you are going out there, you can rethink everything. It is just okay, and you are actually giving you better chances by rethinking, re-evaluating what your journey will be about. You are giving yourself the best possible, not only preparation, but you are giving yourself the best possible chances of the highest gain you can get out there. Because when you understand what this journey is about, what your motivation and strategies and so on will be about, then you are focusing your journey, and then you can even start steer through even the roughest sea, because you are prepared, your vessel is prepared, you have set a course. And to just sit down and before you are leaving the harbor, reconsider everything about the journey is giving you the best opportunity to really reach the next step, level, to give your art the best possible future. And it is not so complicated when you understand that the journey is an important tool, and all you are doing, you are preparing every component of this tool, of, so to say, of this ship, to stand through this journey. And it is like really a journey with a ship. You are preparing the fuel you are using, and you are preparing your maps that you are using, and everything is coming together to the point when you are becoming so sure about your journey that actually the step to steer out of the safe harbor into the even rough ocean is not such a problem. And I think all this starts with busting the myth that it is just like something that it is all about your art, and all you care about is just the art. It would be the same myth like thinking that your art would work without art materials. So it is perhaps a little bit a strange comparison, but to produce outstanding art, you have also to prepare your materials, your studio, and everything, conditions in which your art will happen. And this is obvious to us. It is so obvious to us that we don't think about the art materials or the studio. It is just there, and we are doing art in there. And the same goes for the artistic journey. It is something that we have prepare as a kind of material for our art, for the development of our art. It wouldn't be impossible for you artistic development to paint paintings or to make drawings working without any kind of preparation. So you are just going into an empty room and then art is happening. It will not work out this way. And in the same way, you can bust this myth that the next level of your art, your artistic journey, your artistic future is also something that will just happen. When you are busting this myth and taking this preparation and the starting of the journey as a serious step, then it will happen. And you can go just through every a necessary factor that you are needing for this journey. And it starts with your fuel, with your motivation that you are developing to go out there. Because when you don't have the motivation to go out there, having a real reason to start your journey, you will not go out there. And you have also to rethink your goals that you are setting, because why leave a safe harbor when you don't actually have a fixed point on your horizon, when you are not expecting that actually by starting the journey out there your art will have a kind of impact or something that you will gain out of it. And all these reasons have to be really strong, otherwise it is perhaps better for you to stay in the calm harbor, bound to the dock, and never leave it, and just dreaming about the big journey. But actually you should give yourself the chance to rethink every aspect, and when they are just good enough, then why not starting the journey? It is really not so complicated. By just thinking about the journey, you are actually already developing strategies, what this journey will be all about, how can I react to the possibilities that will come up, perhaps the storms, or also the good things, the opportunities, and how you will use these opportunities in a strategic way. And by developing these thoughts about the obstacles and solutions, your mind is already on this journey, and with this your mind is like pilot ship that is going first out before the big ship is actually leaving. So you are, with your thoughts, with your strategies, you are actually sending a probe out that is just checking a projected future for you. And with this you can develop possible steps, perhaps not all the steps through to reaching your goal, to reaching your artistic future, to reach the next level, but it is showing you the next possible steps. And in this you are actually more willing to leave the harbor, to go out there, because it is not everything unknown. And when something is not unknown to us, we are less fearsome and more willing to step into it. It is just like with a dark room. If we are stepping into the room and it's absolute darkness, we can't see anything, our energy will shift. So we are more alert and more willing to just run out of this room. But when we allow a probe, a small ray of light like a flash lamp, to shine in this room, and we are just seeing that few 3 steps before us, we are more willing to go in this room, and we are less alert. We are more focused on moving ahead than how to get out of this room back. And by checking your motivation, your strategies, your possible obstacles, you're allowing yourself this small ray to shine in this room that you must cross to get to a better future for your art. And the best thing is also that when your steps that you are planning, when the journey ahead is really too complex or just too much, it is also okay to put the big milestone a little bit aside and just perhaps start with learning how to do the first step. So you are setting your knot for yourself. Perhaps you can see the island back behind me. Not this far out island, but perhaps an island that is a little bit nearer. Or you are saying to yourself, I will just leave the harbor for a day and just test my ship, and I will just cross around the coast and then make the decision to go out. So you have the right, if your journey is too complex and you have put yourself too high goals, to cut them first back, to find a compromise in your situation right now, what is possible, and then start to do first the possible, and then you can shoot out for the point on the horizon and really to do this great thing. So you are becoming used to your journey, or how it is to be in a journey, because when you are too long in a harbor, most likely your ship will have some rust on it, and not everything will be functioning. So by setting even smaller goals first and smaller visions that you want to achieve, you are giving yourself a better chance of the bigger success later on. The most important point is never the less to start this journey. Even when your goals in the beginning are not the end goal that you have in mind, perhaps there are a smaller version of it. Nevertheless, it is important to begin this journey and just starting to take one step, even if it is a small step, even if it is a baby step, even if it is about not cutting all the lines that are holding your ship back, but you are cutting just a few of them, and you are just in the harbor moving your ship first around. And later on, when everything is working in the small step, it is also okay to cut the rest of the lines that are holding you back, and then you are just free moving in the harbor, and then you are going to the end of the harbor and perhaps sailing out just for one day or for 2 days and 2 days, and then you are coming back into the harbor, to the safe harbor again. It is also okay, because in the end, when you one day will reach your point on the end, on the horizon, the journey, when you are telling the story of your journey, it doesn't matter when it started. Even the starting point will be always the decision that you have made. And even if you have, as the first step of your journey, just spent, I don't know how long, just shipping around in the ship's yard or in the harbor, it doesn't matter. Then you have just had a longer journey before you're starting your real journey. But the journey will always start with the decision, with making up your mind about going out there. And actually, the first steps of the journey always are starting in our mind, by just thinking about the next steps and preparing for the next steps, and then making out of these thoughts about the small steps a reality. And it's so easy, because when you think about it, actually, just by thinking about your journey, you already started the journey, and it is just a matter of time now how much efficient you will be in this. And you can do it everything on your own, or you can go like the website. I'm putting everything together right now. You can go to www.future.louvre.academy, and there you can get the help how to make this journey in the most efficient way that you actually can. Or you can work with your own thoughts, or perhaps you have a kind of person that is supporting you, that is encouraging you to make this journey. Most likely, when you are a creative person, there's always someone that believes in you. It don't have to be a coach like me that is working very efficient, and I'm always supporting no matter what my clients. It can be someone that is just giving you a good feeling about your artistic process, and this is enough to start with the first step of the journey. But the most important thing is, no matter on what level of efficiency, just start the journey. Believe in yourself, believe in your art. Just have a go, have a try. You don't have to lose everything. The harbor will be there. You can get the same lines that are holding you back. The life you have right now, you have been able to build this up, and will be not such a problem to build it up again. Of course, there are situations where you can perhaps lose a lot, and perhaps you shouldn't take the risk. But most likely, what we are already having right now, what we have been able to build up as a secure harbor or as a cage that is holding us back, the same you will be able to build up again when you come from your journey. the harbor will be there, or you can just find a different harbor. There's not so much to lose, so just start your journey, and no matter how rough the sea looks to you, there's always beauty that you will find, like the beauty that I found today when I was walking through the storm and the wind, and I got out there. I didn't stay in this safe house. I got out there and could experience this magnificent change of colors, and this willingness to go out there is, for art, always paying off. So I leave you with this wonderful sight of this a little bit rough sea today, and I hope to see you tomorrow in the next video. Until then, see you soon. Bye bye.